Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's Tuesday, everyone. Welcome, welcome to Livestreams. We're testing, we're checking if anyone can see me, hear me. This time sound should be fine. I see that my bar is going up, meaning that everything's fine. All right. So I'll get back to you after this small intro. Welcome to Alrighty, I think we're live and everything looks good. We have a sound, we do have comments. Yeah, by the way, let's make some noise in the comments. As always, when you joined us for the first time, so you know what to do. If you join us for the first time, we usually write down something in the comments like, hey, I'm coming from, I don't know, like I'm coming to you from snowy New Jersey today. It's very, for the last couple of days, there was a very snowy time here. We got pretty substantial amount of snow. Not complaining, but hey, there's lots of like fun games can be done in the snow. Write down in this comment where in these comments where you're coming from, what brings you here. So why are you here today, and why are you here? And I know why I'm here. I know I'm going to be doing live stream, some of the live coding, and telling you something about, as always, about cloud, about Kafka, about stream processing, and some of the frameworks. For the recent episodes, we talk a lot about things around Spring. We talk about Kubernetes, and if you're not aware what we do here, we always have a place where you can catch up some other things. So that's why this is our Confluent YouTube channel. This is where you are right now. You should see something like live video right now. But all the playlists, all the things around the live streams, you can find here. It's all episodes are here, and you can catch up with some things that if you missed that, if you haven't seen, you missed some of the episodes in the past. So that's our place. And do me solid, guys and ladies, and just like everyone, just click that subscribe button. That I will appreciate that, and enable notifications so you will not miss next live stream. For another housekeeping items, you can always get some of the. Hit me up on Twitter. You can send me a message, and you can suggest some of the topics or send some questions. So I don't see much of the activity in the chat, which is unusual. Probably something is important is happening. But anyways, you people can catch up afterwards. But it feels lonely. It feels a little bit lonely if no one is no one is there and not sending any messages. Let's see. So we do have. I just want to make sure that I'm using right chat. Yes, the chat is correct one. But we don't see. I don't see anyone. All right. So let's see. And also you can see here if you go and check the quality wise. You know, we're streaming in 4K. Wow! So you can watch this in the in the TV, in the 4K TV. That's how my mom is watching these live streams. Okay, all right. So now I see some people joining me in the stream. That's great. I might have a little bit of delay why I'm saying something and not seeing immediate response. We need to come up. Nah, that's all right. That should be fine. Okay, let's see how our commenting feature is working. All right, so we have Tony TV from Winnipeg. So how is the weather there? Simon, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us again. Dave, my man Dave from St. Louis. It's always great to have you here on the streams. I'm always making you laugh. Okay, hopefully it's not my code. Like, I'm making you laugh, but my code is making you cry. So put this in the, you can tweet about this, hashtag Livestreams. Yep. All right, so we have Odeta. Am I saying this correctly? Our regulars, so Raspberry is here. And Northern Europe is also snowy. I guess it's everywhere. It's called winter, Victor. It's winter, right? And stuff. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna be doing today? At least I see some of the people there. I'm not just talking to myself and into going into craziness. If you would follow us for a while, you would know that we usually do some of the some specials episodes where you can, it's usually longer and you can join and do some hands-on stuff. So stay tuned for small announcements here. So you probably will learn this from either from my Twitter or from Twitter of Confluent, or if you sign up for our developer email, you will be able to receive some of the notifications about what is going on in the developer community around Kafka and Confluent. All right. So stay tuned for that. There would be some cool announcements very soon. So in the last time, so when we where we were doing the thing, we started talking about this framework called Spring Cloud Stream, and as always, you can find all this code in this repository. It's called Demoscene. Confluent Inc/Demoscene, like all the code here. And some of the things that we discussed last time. So we start talking about how we can implement this opinionated way to processing, or not the processing, we didn't get to processing part. How we can implement this the producer-consumer thing, and some of the things around the very opinionated way how you can do this, and this is an opinionated way called Spring Cloud Streams. Sometimes it might feel a little bit kind of cumbersome, maybe for someone, but I feel it actually removes some of the fluff around the framework and actually allows you to focus on very important things. So, one of the questions that I want to follow up from the questions from the last episode, and for that I need to bring my list of these questions from the last episode. Bear with me for a second. I will bring this up in no time. Now, so there was a question from, I guess there was a user named Slava, and he was about how we can produce at least one message. So I spoke, I poke around. I talked to some folks in the community, and apparently there's a kind of like a mix of Spring Cloud Stream functional approach and reactive approach. So the way how you would produce just only one message, you would do something like this. So you would create let's create this new one, supplier. Supplier, and so this supplier will not return message. It will return a flux, and this flux will return message and type string. Yeah, a little bit mouthful, but hey, just call me once. And after that, you do something like this. So we do return supplier, and in your code, you will have something like flux just once, and after that you need to provide this message. So we will have the same thing. So with the message builder, we'll do message builder with payload, some data, right? With set header, Kafka headers, message key and value 42. And after that, we'll just do build and just give us a message. And after that, that's how you would do something like this. So this is the way how you would produce the return, of course. This is always it was going to be bin. So in this case, this code will run this only once. So this is how you do it. This is the way how you can do the same thing. Like you can send 2 messages. There is another way. I'm gonna cover this maybe next time. So we will go a little bit deeper into internals of Spring Cloud Stream. There's a concept of Streams Bridge, and we will talk about this the concept maybe in the next episode, because I wanna finish some of the things that I didn't show you last time. Let's see what is going. All right, so bigger font would be great. Okay, let's see if we can make it bigger. We definitely can. I used to let's see. So font. It looks like people watching us on the TV as I because it's a 4K and stuff. Hopefully you will be able to see it. All right, so let me know how this look like for you. So how does it look, and if it looks good, and all the font of the code will be bigger, and would be nice. Yes, victory means victor. So we have a running joke in our company. We have my colleague. Her name is Victoria, and she's always helping me with some of the links. If there would be some of the stuff here that I would like to share, she will be sharing this with you in this chat. So yes, the Victoria is the name of our team. All right. So Sanjit is asking. Let me get back to questions and make sure that you see this on the screen. So thanks for available video series on Kafka Streams. I have a question. How is it possible to enrich stream object which contains many of sub-objects? I can assume what you mean. So meaning that one of the fields actually have an array or map or something like that. Are we talking about join? Can you a little bit clarify your use case? It's definitely possible to do, since Kafka Streams it's a Java framework. You can do pretty much whatever you want, and especially now whenever we have the foreign key type of join, so we don't need to do only like a join based on the key. Now we finally have a join based on arbitrary field, which also maybe requires another episode to talk about this, or maybe another segment. So I'll put some notes into talk about foreign key join. Yeah, so I would love to have a little bit more information about this, Ajit. So yeah, it's definitely possible. Just give me like specific example. It's very difficult to talk about things like this in on how it's called, on some generic fashion. So give me example. Throw me something. So the best way how you can do this, is either have a gist. So we will not pollute this chat, or gist or gist. How you say it? Gist. Write down in the comment how we're saying this. And send this to my DM to me in Twitter. Yeah, send this in my DM, and I will take a look, and maybe I will bring your example next time for another live stream. All right. So today Today we're going to continue to do this. So I showed this some diagram last time when we were talking about things like this. So where we're talking about the concepts that's available in Kafka binder and available in functional interface in Java, and how all this will relate to all the APIs around Spring Cloud Streams. So we talk about supplier. So in this case, we're creating this supplier that will produce some of the messages. We are talking about consumer, so we can read the messages from here. I will put this in the comments, so it will not break my application just yet. But the idea, you got the idea. This will be invoked just once. So now it's time to talk about the function. So in terms of supplier doesn't receive any message, meaning that the framework will call supplier whenever it requires to produce a message. So that's why we're using this to generate our data. We're using this consumer to produce to read the messages from particular topic. Essentially, we're just like writing the things down. So let's see on the config. So what are we doing this in the config? We do have I need to update this in based on my current thing. So in this case, I'll do cloud. Ooh, cloud shell. Again, cloud shell. I love it. It's so cool. So I'm using which account? So Livestreams. Okay. So in this case, I would just do API key. API key. I will just do create, and I will just do for my which resource. Okay. So to get this resource, IP key. Create, and I would just do resource. Show me cluster ID. No, it doesn't show me. Okay, so I will just do Kafka cluster list. I will use this one, API key. Create. Resource, and I will be doing this one. That's going to be my Kafka cluster. Okay, so this is going to be my API key, username. It's going to be my secret, and my Bootstrap server somewhere here. This one. So I'll just do Kafka cluster describe, and I will just go with this one. So it will tell me what my endpoint. This is going to be my Bootstrap server. Okay, I am doing this. All right. So, and this is where we will see if my application still works. So we will go and we'll go here. We'll use username and password. We'll try to, let's see if my if I will run this application, it will still work. I'm going to be using this application to process some of the message. Remember, we were trying to rebuild our previous application that uses Spring, Kafka, and other things. All right. So what is that? Okay. So this is a classic IntelliJ idea error. Every time when we're updating the IntelliJ, our Lombok plugin breaks. Let's see if we can do marketplace. Lombok. Okay, so it works. It should work, right? It's bundled. Now it should work. That should work. Okay, to build a rebuild project. Let's see if I will be able to rebuild this. While doing this, I will look it up some of the equations here. Okay, so Dave said it's like jest. I'm wondering why is that. So let's think about this. The we have a give, obviously. We have a git, obviously. But why gist is gist? So that's interesting. I don't know. I'm not gonna start this debate right now. So there's a very question: how to verify message already exists in Kafka topic messages. So there's a couple things how we can do this. The Kafka doesn't give you ability to. You cannot randomly access to particular message in the topic, right? So you are using some of the applications that will read these messages from the topic, and after that build something like searchable index. So you can use a connector to move this stuff into like in memory grid or memory cache that allow you quickly find the message by key. Also, you can use things like a SQL if you know what kind of message format is there, and you can look in message for particular arbitrary field. You can do like select something where your properties equals something. So and obviously you can use Kafka Streams for that. You can use Kafka Streams, and so yeah, that's how you do this. You can do this either like programmatically using producer and consumer. You can use connector, but there's no random search available inside the Kafka out of the box. You need to do this programmatically. Yes, exactly. English is weird. I know. That's there's a danger in hanger. Yeah, exactly. Danger in hanger. Hanger. I don't know how to pronounce second one. Why are you doing this to me? Please stop. Let's see. Interesting, but my Lombok is broken here, so that's really bad. Let's see if I can fix that. So we do have installed plugins. See Lombok. Yes, plugin is up and running. I do have. Okay, so it should do the thing, right? So component. It's a different module, not the module that I use. So it use required argument constructor, should be fine. It's a different project. Okay, it's a different project, not the one that I used, because in my project I do have a log problem. So we'll see if I will be able to get past this. If not, just run this in command line. It's totally fine. Okay, so some of the issues. Could not load main class. Why? Okay, let's run this in the command line. That's totally fine. Exit cloud. Quit. Okay, we'll just do it all the way. Yeah, we'll just do where we are. We have a January 26. All right. We are here, so we just Gradle run, boot run. Sometimes your tools are failing. So sometimes this is one of those days when my my beloved tool IntelliJ is failing me. So let's see if we have a, yeah. So the messages are arriving, messages are floating here. As we can see, the key and value, so everything works fine. And remember last time, we just fixed this before we finished the stream. There is a very interesting discrepancy, So the Kafka headers for consumption in production are different. So we can say message key and received message key. So that's something that keep in mind. Okay, so we do have application that process this data. Now we that generates data, and some of the things that we did in the past. Let me show you, like orders view, the one that we used as example. Use this Kafka Streams approach. So we're going to be doing two things here today. We will build the Kafka Streams application using Spring Cloud Stream. And after that, we also will see how we can leverage some of the bits around you know, the interactive queries and web flux and other things. So for that, I'm going into Spring Initializer, add dependency, I should say web flux, web or reactive web. It's called reactive web. Lombok, Kafka, Streams, Gradle, Java, Java 11, reactive. Okay, and generate. All right. Let me open another window. So I will just do this. So I'll just do downloads, just do unzip. Kafka Streams, unzip it. We're going in. And see Gradle W. Clean build X skip test. So let's see. Should be able to see this. While it's building, let's check this out. Some of the questions in the chat. All right, something come very messed up. Let's see what just did happened. Network blip, that's what I call it. All right, so let's see if we be able to fix this. Yeah. So when the Kafka coming without Zookeeper dependency, read is I playing it or it's already out? This is a very good question. And always answer is check the status of keep 500. Keep 500. It is a Kafka enhancement proposal, improvement proposal, I'm sorry. And inside the keep 500, you can find all the changes that happened. Yes, it goes as planned, looking good. Some of the commits are committed. So highly recommend to follow discussion in the mail list around Keep 500 if you like very into this type of jazz. And stay tuned for some of the things that would be happening around Kafka Summit. So that's why you need to register for Kafka Summit. Okay, looks like Deepak is the first time here because this is the most popular question, apart from what kind of camera and lens I use. Yes, it's ZSH plus iTerm on my GitHub. If you go into github.com/Gamussa, JMUSSA, you can find .dot files if you're interested to see how you can set up terminal similar to mine. Can you please do some example for search for the messages? Probably we can talk about this not today, but definitely this is a very interesting topic. But essentially, it's nothing exciting. There's nothing super cool. It's just like you have, yeah, you just have some external system that allows you to search, and you just set the connector. And after that, you can do this together with Elastic or something like that, right? All right, so getting back to our terminal-ish. So, why it's here, just moving it to main screen, so you folks also will see what is going on there. So it will take some time to for IntelliJ to pick up all the nice things. Just do the mining thing. All right. So and we're good to go now. So the next thing that we're going to be focusing today. Again, I will show you this real quick. This one. So we're going to be focusing on the processor. So we're going to be using Kafka Streams. And in order to use this as a Kafka Streams, we're going to be defining this as a function. So the way how it would look like, and this is here. So we're going to be doing a function and this function will have first input and output. So in this case, our input is going to be similar to what we had here. So let's see, order through documentation. Our input here, it is going to be Streams Builder, but we want to have a some table here. So that's why we're gonna read some of the data from input topic, and we return a table, right? So that's what we get. So we will try to do this. So our function will return. We'll take a stream and case stream with the values. We do what we're producing here. So we're producing some of the strings. So for simplicity, let's have it string, right? Because our producer, where is it? So we're producing this. It's a bytes, and it's got two strings. I forgot how I can quickly switch windows. But anyway, yeah, we'll just go here. Now, case stream string, and we will get a key table. So this is how we create a materialized view, right? So we do have a string of data, and we turn this into table of string and string. Materialized view. So, and we just return new function, and the result would be, let's call it stream. We take a stream and we turn this to table. And with this table, what we have? With this, we do have orders view. we do have topic orders consumed with materialized as. Okay. And we'll just do to table. Let's see what kind of methods we do have. Materialized with. Okay, we do have named as orders view, and we'll do materialized as orders view state store, like store. And so we should do things. Sorry, not to this one. Let's see if I will be able to with this materialized as. Can I do store name? I need to get and do serializer in deserialized. Let's see. As materialized key value store as key value bytes store supplier. No, we just do as order view store. And we also with key value survey. Yes, with key survey was gonna serve this string survey. I am a huge fan to be like very explicit on my serialization deserialization format. With value survey, I'll just do string something like this. We're closing in. So what it says? Required. Why is that? With key survey, value survey. Let's see. Materialized. Too many things. Or okay. Why is that? With key survey. Why it's waiting? So object, maybe I messed up with some types, replaced with lambda, so IntelliJ ID will not named as materialized as. Maybe some of the, yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. So let's do this one. Materialize. There should be some weird type inference. Okay, and string here as well. So in this case, I will do things like inline. Yeah, okay, so good stuff. We do have this. Now, why it says state store, key value state store, but it also will be using string and gonna be using string as well. Should work? No? So why is that? key value string why it's like let's do this one. So let's keep it as is. Yeah, that's how it looks like. And after that, we do war. This is Java, folks. This is Java table. All right. So stream return. We'll just do inline variable. We can do inline here. Named as. We'll just do a nice thing that IntelliJ IDEA can do for us, and that's it. So this is our materialized view. We can make it a bean, and let's get to fun part. So let's do this one. Let's see. All right. Some questions. I don't see any questions related to things what I do. It looks like everything is clear. Thank you so much for your comment. I really appreciate this as well. So that's why I'm doing here. So I'm walking you through the code together with me. So now the next thing is that what we're doing. Like where's my new window? Once again, we're going into Confluent Cloud because why not? No, I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, I don't need that. So I can copy it from here. So, and now we need to do all this wiring and see if this will work for us. Now, in my application, we're going to be using same cluster to connect. So, next thing that we need to configure our Spring Cloud Stream. There should be different binder for this matter. So we do have a Kafka configuration. So first of all, we need to do function definition, and the name of our function always is application. This is our name, materialized view. This is what we have. Now we do have this. Next thing is that we need to configure this binding. So we need to specify where to get this from, what's going to be our input and what's going to be our output. So we need to specify this bindings. It's going to be function bindings. And one binding, we need to specify where we're getting data. So since we do have this this guy, so we're gonna do we need to specify that this is gonna be input data, and 0 is a parameter. So results of this will come from this. Yeah. So we're using this products, our topic, this is going to be our products, and yeah, I should have just dropped it in the same project, but hey, yeah. So we're going to be this products, and why it says key value delimiter doesn't match style. What? Yeah, because of YAML versus property files. Now, and I'll just do bindings. Function stream, where's the just like in this case it's gonna be out, and the parameters just do orders view. Okay, so this is input, this is gonna be output. I'm actually not sure about this. Let's see. Because I technically don't need this, but like let's keep it. Let's keep it this way. So next thing is that we need to specify the binder for Kafka Streams. So a binder, and there should be something Kafka Streams binder. Let's do this one. Kafka Streams. Dash streams. So we're going in the binder. So application ID, we're doing this materialized view, mat view. It's going to be our application, Kafka Streams application ID. And we can pass some of the configurations. One of the things that we need to put here is the string surdays, right? So we need to specify that because by default it will be using bytes. We do have a string. So in this case, we'll just do Kafka Streams binder, and we'll just do something like a configuration, Spring Kafka Streams binder configuration. Yeah, Spring Cloud Stream Kafka binder configuration, and we need to provide a key. So in this case, default, where we can find this, streams config. This is where you can find this configuration. So I will just do default key, yeah, default key surday, and in this case we need to do this weird stuff, surdays dot surdays, and it's gonna be something like org Apache Kafka serialization dot surdays dollar serialization surdays dollar string serializer string surday. And we'll just do default value surday. Surdays, yeah. Let's do something so it will be faster. We'll see default. We're just doing here commit interval milliseconds. So in this case, we will see result much quicker. Now we're doing this here. 1 second, right? It's going to be 1 second. So now what we have here, definition, we specified the function that will be invoked as a bean. We specified the input and output, and also we specified the name of the application, deserializer. Will it fly? You know, cast your votes. Dude, I didn't. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think I didn't. Yeah, sorry about that. Yes, okay. I was doing like crazy some coding. Let me walk this through. Sorry about that. Sorry. I just realized that that's sorry. Yes. Okay. So what I did, I'm starting configuring my Spring Cloud Stream. The first thing is that it's the same as just like a connection to Kafka cluster. That's the same. Now my application, Spring Cloud function definition. This is what I will be using in order to provide all this like a cool bindings. The Spring Cloud Stream will bind this function into Kafka Streams binder. So it will create Streams builder. It will create all the things around it. So that's why I have this materialized view name of this. Now, next thing, I need to specify the parameters. So in this case, I'm saying that my Kafka streams, like my input parameter will be created stream from the products, and output will land in the orders view compacted topic. And after that, I need to pass some of the configuration. So this is my application ID. I need to provide the serialization, deserialization, and the commit interval. I'm sorry. Let's see if I have any comments. What's the difference between this way and using stream listener that seems to be more declarative? So, the first thing, that stream listener approach is deprecated right now. So they kept this in a new version just for compatibility issues. So the stream listener is not declarative. It's more like a lot of things that you need to know, or like a lot of abstraction that your application will be leaking, or like lots of abstraction from the framework will be leaking into your application, which is not always a good idea. Yeah, so yes, hands up. Yeah, sorry about that. It happens. I wish I had the understanding for all the code. How long have you been coding? Well, like for money or at all? Yes, I've been doing some coding for some time. Yes, I came into this developer relations goal with the role with some of the background on coding. Yes, I did some code in the past. So let's switch back to our coding. I will make sure that everything will look fine. So our application, we still writing data. Data still is producing. Now let's see if I will be able to run this in my application and nothing will break. Hopefully. I don't use anything specific here. So in this case, nothing really. Failed. For port 80 is already used. Okay, so we'll just do server port. What's the port? Server port 8080. I will just do 8081 or 82. Yeah. Let's see. Application is up and running. Let's see if it actually does work. So I don't see it's actually picked this up because why? Let's see why it is not. It's not seeing this. Definition of function, materialized view. That's correct. Definition, screen cloud function. No, it doesn't pick up. Let's see. Spring Cloud function definition. Spring Cloud stream. Spring Cloud stream. Yeah, that's what we want. In this case, let's see. Also, write down in the comments if you're drinking something something cool today. Nope, I don't see it either. Bean application is starting, up and running, but the function interface is not there. So let's see if my Spring Cloud stream function definition bindings. Do I need to do anything specific like for string? No, it should work without this. It should work without any problems. Let's see if I'm using right interfaces here. So Java util function, yes. Java util function, it's a bin inside my application. That's fine. Spring Cloud stream, that should do. Like why it is not picking up? That's very interesting. The way how I know that it's not picking up is that I don't see output from my Kafka Streams application. So materialized view. Let's see. This could be it, but I'm not sure. Like that should be not a big deal if I'm not making this public. Should be able to find it. I was need to make it public. Okay. Good stuff. So application now in a running state, which is great. Let's go and take a look at what do we see in our Confluent Cloud. Livestreams, yep. As always, if you want to also play around with Confluent Cloud and all these examples, like hit me up in my Twitter. That will give you some of the live streams, cluster 0 with topics. So we do have this state store. So my applications works. It's connected. It's all good. Now we have a product. We do have a product, and messages are producing. Okay. So now how we can see if our application actually works? We're gonna be using interactive query function. If you we have 5 more minutes, and I think I will make it in time. So let's do this. Class IQ controller. Because it's pretty easy. Like I like the how it's integrated in the Spring Cloud Streams, so it would be much easier to do. So I'll just do. It's going to be REST controller. So it's going to be REST controller. I'm not going to use the Lombok. Looks like it's not working. We'll fix this later. So in this case, I'll just do private final interactive query. Check this out. So Spring Cloud Streams actually have interactive query service built in, so I can inject this IQ service. And I will just say, okay, so create a constructor. Yep. So we're going to be doing this. We just do outwired. We'll just make it public. And this, now we need to define the method, say public, I don't know, like the string a method get item, whatever. So as a parameter, we need to do this get mapping. Let's say IQ slash what are we doing? Like view, right? View, and with whatever result, the key. We're gonna be having the key, and as a result, we need to get the path variable was gonna be string key. Now IQ service, we can do this get queryable store. What kind of store are we getting here? This one, orders view store. That's what we're getting. And we're getting this from IQ store. Queryable, queryable store type, key value types, key value store. All right. Just do a war. So we say string is string here. And as a result, we just do store.get string key, get a key, and we just do return. Okay. Looks fine. Okay, let's try to do something. And to do this, let's see what the products, what kind of keys we have here. So let's see. We can get these keys from our, either from UI, you know, where's the key? This key. Let's do this one. Let's copy, and it's gonna be fantastic. What? Fantastic wooden something. Okay, let's try to do this. If I will just go ahead and just do HTTP 8082.2, we're gonna have a IQ slash view slash this We should get some result. Fantastic wooden shoes. Okay, now you have it. I can't even imagine. I'm so surprised that this actually works from the first time. I'm getting good at this, guys. I'm getting good at this. Thanks to you. Let's see if we have any other questions. So, all right. So Kafka listener for notification, is that okay? Yeah, that's totally fine. So Kafka listener, it's a part of Kafka Spring Kafka integration. So Kafka listener follows the same pattern that messaging integration in Spring framework that was available for like very long time. So you still can do this. Personally, I kind of like it felt very cumbersome when I started using Spring Cloud Stream from the day one. But I finally dig it. I finally, able to, comprehend and understand all the bits and bytes. And just for me, it's just much simpler to write the simple function. Function can be easily tested. Function can be, it doesn't have any framework around it. So it's just a logic that I need to do in terms of I know what kind of type of message I will get and what I need to do with it. So it's up to you. You can use whatever you want. But hey, yeah, so I do have a time for one more last question, and we will wrap up for today. While I'm waiting for this one last question, I would like to just quickly walk through the last bits of the code, what we did today. So in this, we defined a function that will represent the logic of my application. As you can see, there's nothing here in this code that uses Streams Builder and Kafka Streams, other things. So I just defined this function. And you know what the cool thing about this function? I can easily take this and just start doing topology test driver, because this is my case stream. I get this to topology test driver, and I can easily test this. I'll show you next time. So remind me to do so. Show topology test driver with Spring Cloud Stream, how this can be used. That's what we're going to be using. Next thing is that I also enabled interactive query service that is the part of Spring Cloud Stream framework. So in this case, I don't need to well, technically, I look up in this code and check the way how they doing this. And this is how I showed you my interactive queries in my previous live stream. So if you will go and find the example of my order interactive query, this guy. So this Streams Builder factory bean, and how I can extract this Kafka Streams instance, and from the Kafka Stream instance I can get particular store. The same code they doing with this interactive service, but since it's already part of the framework, I don't need to maintain this code myself. It's a very nice thing to have it there. So, and after that, I'm just using standard Spring, and there's going to be a reactive thing that simply inject this service and use this as the key value store. So I don't remember who asked this. Actually, I do remember. There was a gentleman named I will check the G. So some gentleman with the name G on his. So this is how we can build your search whatever. So now I search the message for a particular key by I knew the key. If you need to come up with some more sophisticated logic, this is how we can do this in this application. In a nutshell, it's a very simplified version. All right, last question. Thanks to the stream, of course, that's why I'm here. We have a few questions regarding commits. Have we managed commits in incoming stream? How we can track them when commit occur? So it is not question to Spring Cloud Stream. It's a question on how the Kafka Streams is handled. So there's the configurations available there, and it's just use Kafka Streams library. It's just a wrap around Kafka Streams. You can do automatic commits, you can do manual commits, but then I don't believe that Kafka Streams allows you to do manual commits. So there's a logic about committing offset is built inside the Kafka Streams. If we create composition function, set configuration example, I think it's a longer question that doesn't fit in my window. let me try to read this without without showing on display. If we create composition from function, what point does commit take place? So each point, if you have like one function that produces, another function that will read the message, and the third function will read this. So the commit will happen in each. So there's no long-running transaction across all these things. The commit, like if you're producing message, it will write the message, and after that the commit will happen. If you have a consumer, it will just do whatever it does regardless. So there's no like running transactions around this. But yeah, that's a very good question. We might I might look to this one a little bit deeper. All right, folks. Thank you to being a part of Livestreams. My name is Viktor Gamov, and as always, I'm a developer advocate with Confluent. You can send your DMs to my Twitter if you have some questions that you want me to break down during these live streams, like live, or I can like prepare answer for you. And as always, it was Viktor Gamov, and as always,